ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the President, the Vice President, the Chairman and the members of the Managing Committee of Kanara Saraswat Association, I take pleasure in welcoming every one of you, in spite of these heavy rains, to this serene hall, Anandashram Hall. The event, as you are aware about, my ladies and gentlemen, is nothing but a new initiative of Kanara Saraswat Association and Chitrapur Saraswat Network, that is KSA CSN. You will be knowing about it shortly. But before that, I thought opportunity to bring in young entrepreneurs from our community, as well as the experienced, grown-up and progressive entrepreneurs from our community, so that they exchange their views and it is helpful to the community at large. On behalf of all of you, may I request our chairman, Shri Jairam Khambadkone, to please escort our president, Shri Praveen Kadle, the interviewer for this, the moderator for the evening, Shri Durgesh, and the main Utsav Murti of this evening, Shri Durgesh Chandavarkar on the dais. Now it's time for our chairman, Shri Jairam Khambadkone, to brief you about the KSA activities. May I request Mr. Jairam Khambadkone to just give his views on the KSA activities. Thank you.
Good evening. I am happy today because normally whenever there is any function of KSA, either I have a welcome or a vote of thanks. This time I think Rajiv has decided to give me another special job to talk about KSA. He told me, Jairam, why don't you talk about some good work done by KSA? So I am having a different role today. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you. But the underlying meaning of this is that talk only about the good work. He says, don't talk about any bad work which has been done. So I won't do that. Okay. Today that aside. Now, when we talk of KSA, I don't have to say anything about inception and when it was started, because all this, the people who are gathering over here is all amchis and they know everything about KSA. But there are certain things I must say about KSA, what we have done in the last few years. Number one, if you see our June magazine, we have mentioned what is that we do for all the students, all the elderly people from KSA side. I am sure you have seen this page number 3, which talks of various activities of KSA, which helps the students in terms of giving aid, or in terms of giving a refundable grants or medical help or a distress relief. In the entire year, we have given something like 36 lakhs, total 35.81 lakhs, close to 36 lakhs to our community people, which is a very good figure. Okay, it may not be the same exactly every year, but it may be plus minus something. But the most important thing is that when we do these things, we expect some of the future students, or basically it is for the education, some of the students who get benefited even in future. So what is expected from this is that those students who complete their education, who start their jobs, or those students who refund their entire the grant which has been given and start working, they should come back and be a member of KSA, or even sometimes even small donations which can be given to KSA, which will help not only the existing people but also the future. This is going to help build up the total capital for KSA and is going to help the people in the future. In this connection, I remember a very small story of Sudha Murthy. It's called as From Bangalore, Bombay to Bangalore. It's a very short story in a book called as When I Stopped Drinking Milk. If one has to know what is giving back to the society, one has to read this story. Please read this story. A very good meaning from this. It's a learning for us, and it will tell us what is giving back to the society. Then we will talk about what are the new things, new initiatives which KSA has started in the last few months. See what normally happens. The members of KSA who are in, say, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, or wherever, Bangalore, or wherever it is in India or abroad, what do they have other than reading the magazine? What's in it for us? So they get to read only the magazine at the end of every month or beginning of every month. Now this year onwards, since last, you can say about December or January onwards, each and every program which is being conducted in KSA, by KSA, is being video recorded and is put on YouTube. Such announcements have come in the magazine in last 2-3 months, and in YouTube you can see each and every program which has been recorded over there. So no one can say that, okay, we don't get an opportunity. So it's a good chance for each and every member, whether they are outside Mumbai, outside India, or wherever they are, and they do get an opportunity to have a look at these programs. Okay, after the program is over, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks by the time the entire thing has been uploaded. Then we have a Facebook page which has been started, and all the announcements come on Facebook as well. So normally it used to happen only in the KSA magazine, it comes on Facebook as well. For faster communication, we have started a WhatsApp group, rather a WhatsApp number. On this WhatsApp number, whichever number is available with us as recorded, the message goes to them about the program directly, and there is no loss of time at all. So we don't have to depend only on the magazine for any such future programs. Then we will talk about something about Nasik Holiday Home. All of you know that Nasik Holiday Home we have, but the utilization of Nasik Holiday Home is not very much from our own community. Out of the total, whatever room nights have been booked so far, just about 6 to 7% happens to be from our Amchis, and rest is all from locals. Not that we dislike it. We want more and more non-members also to utilize the facility over there. So, such facilities should be utilized by all our Chitrapur Saraswat community as well. It's a lovely place. You can't call it a luxurious place, but it's a very convenient and a very, what you can say is a likeable place. Likeable place, homely place. We have health center, the facilities of consultation, laboratories, pathological laboratories. We are in the process of extending this to 2D echo, X-rays, etc., which have been slightly delayed, but we are in the process of finalizing this very shortly. This particular session of what we call entrepreneurship development is a part of the new initiative which has been started, and we will talk about it a little later. All of you know that very recently, because of 150th year of Kalmukima, there was one function which was held, 3-day function which was held, event which was held. From that event, we have generated a surplus about approximately about 9.5 lakhs. And we have kept aside about total 10 lakhs aside, and we are considering various options. These options, which option will be the best suited for our community? And one of them is for senior citizen, but these are very raw stages. We will discuss, deliberate more on this and come with the scheme in the next few months' time. We have sports, normal sports of course, table tennis, carom, everything is there. But in October we had a state level carom tournaments in this particular hall, this and the mezzanine floor. As and when opportunity arises, we will have similar activities of sports. We have Sangeet Sammelan every 2 years. We had it in 2018 April. Probably in April or May 2020, we will repeat the same thing next year. We have Marriage Bureau, of course. Marriage Bureau is helping people on boys' side as well as girls' side. Now, with the development of the new website, which is in the process just now, we are likely to go on the website and try to go more technology oriented as far as this Marriage Bureau is concerned. All what we wanted to talk about KSA, I think I finished, and then we look forward, we are looking forward to the next session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Jairam. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will hear about KSA and CSN. What is this initiative now? And our President, Praveen Kadle, will brief you on that. Thank you.
Good evening, friends. Jairam talked about the KSA. I will now talk about this new initiative of CSN, which we are going to talk about, or which we are going to start now, and I will talk about it very briefly. But let me first start, before we talk about the CSN initiative, let me talk about some of the reports published by international economists about Indian economy, and in that context, I can explain the importance of CSN. Indian economy, as you all know, is on the growth path. Whether we are going to grow at the rate of 6% GDP growth or 8% GDP growth, but we are going to continue to grow for the next at least 30 years, if not more, at least till 2050. And why? Because what economists call, the international economists call, that we have the demographic dividend advantage. The demographic dividend advantage, to simplify it, what it means is for the at least next 30 years, and this dividend, so-called dividend, started sometime in 1999-2000. So for a period of 50 years, India is enjoying this so-called demographic dividend, which means the earning population from the age of 20 to 60 will be more than 50% of the population. And the younger population, as from the born children to the age of 20, the population which is the educating population or learning population is going to be another 30%, and is going to continue till at least 2050. And in 2050, China is supposed to be the #1 economy, and India will be #2 economy. And the US will be third, and many other countries which are appearing in the top 10 countries will not be there in the top 10. Country like Indonesia will be perhaps in the top 5 countries or 7 countries, also because of the demographic dividend. Now this so-called demographic dividend, which means the more than 50% of the population is earning population, whereas if you go to countries like Japan, there is an aging population. Same is going to happen in China after 2050. So that is really helping the Indian economy to grow. Now this demographic dividend can become a demographic liability if Indian administrators, politicians do not provide affordable education and affordable health care. And that's the most important thing. And once you provide the affordable education and affordable health, then starts the when this population grows into the age bracket of 20 and above, which is the earning population, we need to create the earning opportunities, which means job creation, which means also entrepreneurship. And in that context, we started thinking about what KSA should be doing, because we are doing something on the medical side, We are also doing something on education side in terms of providing the affordable health care and affordable education, and that's why my predecessor Suresh Emmadi Ma'am started this centenary fund, and we have got a good corpus, almost close to 1.5 crore corpus. We also got some generous donation from Talmaki Trust very recently. So we got a now corpus of more than 2 crores, and through that corpus we are providing, as Jairam mentioned, about 36 lakhs in the last financial year, and that's the kind of amount which we have been providing every year. So we thought while we are in our own way, KSA is providing this affordable education and affordable healthcare, we should now start doing something on the earning, that is in fact earning opportunities for, in our small way, first to start with for Amchi community, and that's where this whole CSN initiative started. Actually, it was Rajiv Ma'am and Gautam Amladi Ma'am's, I think, initial thought of CSN. CSN stands for Chitrapur Saraswat Network, and I thought maybe we should add E in that, CSEN, that is the Chitrapur Saraswat, I'm just thinking, earning network or whatever, or entrepreneurial network and employment network, is basically what we should do from, and that's what KSA is planning to do, is how can we encourage the employment and the entrepreneurship kind of an initiative, how can we provide that, so the earning opportunities for the young population of our youth, when they cross the age of 20, how we can create these opportunities. And that's a small initiative. If you take the whole census, so we are only about 25-30,000 amongst the whatever 1 crore 30 lakh, 130 crores of population. So we don't even make any small decimal point difference also, that's the population, but whatever we can do, and that will be really helpful. So first we thought Chitrapur Saraswat community is known for its excellence in the administrative field. We have generated great accountants, great bank managers. We in fact contributed also to SCC Bank on the banking side. A lot of our Amchis excelled in banking in the banks which were promoted by our own state Karnataka, from where we came in, like Vijaya Bank, Syndicate Bank, Corporation Bank, Karnataka Banks, Kanara Bank, so many banks, and you would find that a lot of our Amchis held very senior positions in many of these banks. But we all excelled in administrative field. Of course, we are also known for our contribution to the arts, music, lyrics, music, or performing art, really any of these art. Of course, we also excel reasonably well in the government administrative through our own contribution of ICS officers or IAS officers. But we should do something on the entrepreneurial side, creating opportunities for entrepreneurs, Amchi entrepreneurs to really kind of prosper and start when they are very young. Gujarati lokantu, it's in their blood. Before even the boy or the girl graduates, they start thinking about starting some business. I'm just telling you, this is true story of my case, where my grandmother, I was just narrating this to one of my cousins. My grandmother, when she's heard, I'm a poor lady, I mean poor in the sense not poor from that point of view, but she said, to CA karta sir, BA kar kashila, BA tell bank anta, officer and job magician. So I'm just saying the first compulsion thinking bank uncle's job matter should think first. So we said we should first start thinking from the entrepreneur point of view, how we can create Amchi entrepreneurs. To start with, we thought about can we create the network of Amchis, and that's why the initiative is going to have a list of all the entrepreneurs, business professionals, whether you are doctors, chartered accountants, lawyers, or whatever profession you kind of follow. Why don't we make a list of all the entrepreneurs, create our own he said we should create our own LinkedIn of entrepreneurs, equivalent of that, so that at least we can exchange ideas. Now we have such senior entrepreneurs like Durgesh Ma'am, and somebody wants to follow his footsteps, and he wants to become, say 20 years down the line, he wants to become another Durgesh Mam, then he should get the advantage of consulting him, asking him, "Kal to kal hai, best kal hai, so we are facing this kind of a situation. You also must have faced a similar kind of a situation. So how did you tackle that problem?" So that kind of a network should be available. And that network, today we live in the electronic world, so it's easy to create the network. And the attempt is to start having a website of all our AMCHI entrepreneurs, professionals, who can then, and you go to the website, KSA website, you will know, okay, fine, you want to know something about chemical industry, and who are the entrepreneurs who are in chemical industry, or who are in the, let's say, engineering industry, or who are the practicing lawyers, or who are practicing chartered accountants, or doctors, or whatever. And if I want to get that information about how this particular problem was sorted out, or kind of even getting some help, guidance, so that's the idea, and I hope this will work very well. I am very happy to note that so many people came, some youngsters also came, and we intend to launch it, if everything works well, on the Guru Purnima day in Mallapur. We have talked to Swamiji, and Swamiji has agreed in principle to bless this initiative, and some work we need to do in terms of creating this network. If everything works well, the plan is to launch it on the, Swamiji will launch it on the Guru Purnima day in Mallapur, which is on 16th of July. The next step we are going to look at is how we can create more employment opportunities. Talking about the entrepreneurship, we are also looking at, and we are discussing amongst ourselves again. I am seeking help from Durgesh Mam. Vinod Mam is also there, another successful, I can't call him as entrepreneur, but he is one of the very successful managers, also a banker, now the chairman of SVC Bank. So we are thinking about how we can create a fund, a kind of a seed capital providing kind of a fund. And again, there also we have taken places from Swamiji. We need, of course, need to give some feedback to Swamiji as to how it will work, and hopefully Swamiji made me make the announcement on the last 15th of June in Kanara that if you form that kind of a fund, he will contribute 1 crore from his Padakanika account. So this is what we are planning. I am hoping if everything works well, and we are working right now, maybe hopefully that's our target, that the CSN initiative will be launched by Swamiji on this Guru Purnima day, and on the Simolangan day we can hopefully launch the equity fund or the seed capital fund. That's the plan. So please wait for all the announcements to come. So we thought as Kanara Saraswat that we should learn from experienced entrepreneurs and senior entrepreneurs like Durgesh Mam. He is in his own right very successful businessman. We are all very proud of him as a small AMCHI community. So we decided that we will start this series called MULAQAT, which will be held every alternate month on the last Saturday of the month, like this, around say 5:30. And the first inaugural MULAQAT will be with Durgesh Mam, which Arun Mam is going to have. The second series will be, or second lecture of this series will be, or MULAQAT will be held with Vinod Mam. Vinod Mam, as you all know, has been a very successful manager. Is a English, chartered accountant from England, then came to India and then worked in industry, then came to the new bank which was being set up at that time in 1994, HDFC Bank, and he had a very successful 23 years or maybe more. And then I think he continued even beyond his retirement also until recently as an advisor, and he has really made our AMCHIs very proud. So we have two great examples, one entrepreneur and other one is a very successful manager. In a way, he was also an entrepreneur, you can say, because he helped HDFC Bank where it is today, right from the ground level zero to where it is today. So in a way, businessman entrepreneur and manager entrepreneur, two examples, and we will continue every alternate month. And the idea is that youngsters, and I will request our youngsters to attend this program. I also want to, when we are talking about this fund part, we will very shortly have a meeting which we can have and we can take the feedback from Vinod Ma'am and Durgesh Ma'am. And what should we do for the youngsters to provide the seed capital? So I think I talked too much, and I would rather like to hand over to Arun Ma'am. And so please support this initiative in whichever way you can. And every Mulaqat we would like to have bigger crowd here, and not only crowd here but also we have a mezzanine floor, so people can be also accommodated there. So thank you, and please enjoy the next maybe 1.5 hours in terms of discussion and question answer part. I can tell you one thing, Durgesh Ma'am can face any attack. So ask him the most difficult questions, he will answer this without any problem, with lot of ease. So Ma'am, you can also, he can make your life difficult. So please enjoy the next 1.5 hour session. Thank you for coming in spite of this.